What's going on, y'all? I'm Dexter,
And I'm La.
and we are the Jakes Juniors. This is going to be a very special day, okay? I think back in Genesis when God created earth and he rested on the seventh day. You know what he probably ate?
We got different Bibles.
You didn't see this part?
No, but go ahead.
Probably ate wine braised short ribs,
Ooh.
all right? And guys, that's what we're doing today, all right? It's on page 7 of your Bible if you need to look it up, all right? Don't ask chapter, verse. It's page 7, every Bible you have.
Don't
okay?
look it up. But stay tuned.
So the first thing that we're gonna work on, of course, for our wine braised short ribs is the short ribs. We have beautiful cuts right here. Shout out to my butcher. He's a follower and a subscriber. Thank you,
Praise.
Angel, for hooking us up with this meat.
He's an angel.
So we have prime right here, but you can get choice, you can get Wagyu. It's really up to what you want and what your budget is.
Your budget.
First things first, we're gonna trim the silver skin, get some of this fat off there, make everything nice and pretty so you're not chewing on stuff and trying to pick out silver skin out your silver.
Ew.
So I'm
Do
going
all
in
of
here
that.
with the boning knife. It's a very good knife. I'm not gonna say the name because they're not sponsoring this episode. That actually makes me think. This episode is sponsored by us. If you want to subscribe, give us some love, that's going to help us out. But first things first, as I said, trying to get some of this silver skin off, and you'll see this top layer is really what I'm talking about. Some different ways for you to do this. If you want it super thin, you can go ahead and freeze this piece of meat, put it in the freezer for maybe about 30 minutes or so, and then you should be good from there.
Now, I personally don't do it, okay?
Yeah.
Because God allowed me to have a husband that does it.
Perfect.
Thank you,
I'm sure that
Jesus.
was God's intention when he created
Sure
it.
was. Sure was.
So you can kind of see exactly that silver skin that I'm talking about now. And this is what we're taking off. We want beautiful red meat, and I'm just going in very slowly. Trying to make sure you don't cut yourself. Be careful out there, people. And when you're doing this, make sure that you get 4 to 5 inch bones. You want them very nice and thick. Make sure they get the thickest part. And to be honest, you can get your butcher to do this part, but I prefer to trim it myself. And for this part, we're just going under this membrane to remove this part. Try to get my knife right up under there, just to loosen it up a little bit. Then I start just cutting. I'm being a little cautious here. Cutting yourself on camera, not something I'm trying to do. Off camera all day.
Let's not do that.
Like I said, getting some of this membrane off, it's gonna be a prettier end product as well.
Tastier too. Because the seasoning actually gets through the meat
Yep.
instead of just laying it over on that silver skin. Doesn't really help. But like this, delicious. I'm really here right now just as a support.
You
Look at
are.
me.
You're
Look
doing
at
a
me
lot
being
of
a
help.
support.
You know, just being here for moral support, and I appreciate that. Same thing, just trying to get some of this layer of fat off before we get in tighter for the silver skin.
Is there a way that you can still reuse this fat?
Especially with higher grades of meat, you can use the fat to like get your grill ready. It's a little bit of a natural seasoning.
Oh.
Like sometimes when we do the picanha, if we have a very
We love
fatty
some picanha.
piece. But if we do that, sometimes I'll go ahead and oil the grate with some Wagyu fat or something like that, and it's great.
Trim the fat and reuse it, okay? Whatever fat you got. Doesn't need to be Wagyu fat.
I'm telling them what I do. Okay,
That's-
what you
that's-
do is on you. This ain't what I do. All right.
You do you, and you be great,
Yeah, on your own time.
okay?
It's my time right now.
We're working on his niceness.
Every day. Spend a few hours working on being nicer. Now it's time to season. Just going up real high. We're doing just salt right now because we're gonna let this brine in the fridge for 2 to 24 hours.
So one thing that I was confused, okay, is why you putting too much salt if you're gonna season it again?
Yeah, so this salt is really going to soak up into the meat. Everything's going to be nice and red, very flavorful. The meat will be to the bone. Because these are thick pieces of meat, you want to be sure to actually, season them beforehand. Allow some time for the salt to penetrate the meat. Now, when I'm working on the braising liquid, usually I don't salt that so much because the meat is salted and then you can salt it at the end when you make your sauce.
Okay, all right. Now I know. Now we know. Look
Yes.
at us knowing.
Learning together. That's what this is about. This is an educational channel.
Well, now, because this is an educational channel,
Yes.
I would have to speak for the Brazilians, right?
Yeah.
Então, para os brasileiros de plantão, a gente vai fazer a receita. E isso aqui é costela de carne, costela de boi, né? Ou de vaca, seja lá o que você quiser. Mas ele vai fazer 3 horas no... Como é que fala?
No oven?
Isso, forno.
Forno.
No forno.
Eu falo português.
Adivinha quem fala português agora?
Sim, eu falo português agora. Muito português. Parabéns.
E eu esqueço.
Parabéns.
Parabéns, parabéns. Um momento, parabéns. Pois é, então a gente vai fazer isso e agora ele vai terminar de falar o que a gente tem que fazer, mas é praticamente costela, né, no forno.
Yeah. Very simple recipe that we're doing here. There's a lot of steps that you do beforehand, but once you're done with the initial prep, put everything together, put it in the oven. We're gonna bake it for a total of 3 hours, flipping it halfway through. But it's really hands-off, this recipe, and it's super flavorful. We're gonna love this together. You better try it out, okay? Please sound off in the comments. Let us know what you enjoyed or what you don't enjoy.
Yeah.
We wanna learn with you.
Whatever, you know.
This is gonna be good. We're done, we got our meat seasoned. We're gonna put it in the fridge, let it brine for 2 to 24 hours so that it can soak up all of this flavor. And then we're good. Stay tuned, y'all.
What about short ribs that is like your favorite?
So, you know, it's kind of special. For Black Americans, we didn't necessarily, particularly during Jim Crow and during slavery, have the most desirable parts of the meat. Short ribs, it's a tougher cut, usually something that we would have. So we had to be very, very creative with the ways that we were cooking it. So you get all kinds of great techniques to pack in that flavor and make it juicy, like smoking, like braising,
Yes.
and that's what we're doing today. But it's very historic, it's a comfort food, and now, you know, short ribs has kind of gone viral. Now everybody
Everyone.
wants some short ribs. It's like a delicacy on menus.
Yeah,
But
it
you know,
is.
it's still just some good Southern cooking for me.
I'm glad to know because in Brazil, we also love short ribs and it's the same background when it comes to the short rib story. But when moving here and obviously getting married to Dexter, changed the whole game. He perfected this recipe.
Thank you, love.
Oh, no, for real though.
I appreciate
I
it.
like you. I like you a lot.
No, you didn't have to say that. We didn't rehearse
But
that.
this part, this short rib right here is delicious. And you can pair with anything you want.
With rice, you can do mac and cheese, greens, cornbread,
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. But today
that
we're
good
doing
stuff.
mashed potatoes, cream spinach. It's gonna be amazing, okay?
Delightful. One of my favorite things about short ribs is when we get to cook for a family. For me, it's always like having that moment, the precious memories, the precious smell.
It smells up the house. It gives you memories. Sometimes I'm
Does.
full off of the smell before I even eat. It's significant. Like I said, it's
It is.
nostalgic.
Life is busy, so when we get to have these comfort foods, it gives us hope to hold on to the next year.
Yeah, we're definitely a short rib house.
We are.
If we
We
can
are.
say that. It's special. All right,
I got my utensil.
you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. So, gonna turn this thing on, and we're gonna first start with oil. You know how I know?
A professional.
Thank you.
Go ahead and grab your Dutch oven, put it over medium heat. Then first you're gonna start off with your braising liquid by cooking the onions until it's light brown, maybe 4 to 6 minutes or so. And then you add your tomato paste, your flour, stir it until it starts to get darkened, maybe about 45 seconds. Next you wanna go in with your wine and get that running to a boil, not a simmer, but a boil, and keep it going until maybe 3 minutes. You're looking for it to become real thick. Then the next thing is you want to add the broth, garlic, herbs, and bay leaves. Then place those ribs into the pot, bone side up, looking right at you, into the liquid and let it simmer. Then you want to throw it in your oven, bake it uncovered for an hour and a half, then flip the ribs, return them to the oven, uncovered again for another hour to an hour and a half. Then for serving, you're gonna place the ribs on a platter, Cover it with foil so things can stay warm. Then using a fat separator, strain the braising liquid, remove any solids, allow the fat to go ahead and come up to the top. Maybe you're gonna wait about 5 minutes for that, and then pour the defatted braising liquid back into that Dutch oven that you were cooking the ribs in and heat it up until it starts to boil. You're gonna reduce that heat to low when it starts to boil and get it to go ahead and go all the way down to maybe 1 cup. Maybe that's gonna take about 4 to 7 minutes, but then you gradually whisk in your butter, 1 piece at a time, season with salt and pepper to taste. Then you're gonna pour the sauce over the meat and serve. Or otherwise, go see Jesus. You might be in heaven right after this. All right, y'all, so it is that time. I'm gonna tell you right now, because I know this is about to be good. Like, subscribe.
All of that.
Comment, do all of those things. Let us know if you cook it. Let us know how happy you are. Let us know if Jesus appeared right in front of you, because you're going to see heaven. No, seriously, this is about to be great. Let's go ahead.
So let's go. I'm ready.
Ladies first, as always. Yeah,
As you can see, the bone is just,
yeah, that
you know,
bone
it's sliding. It's just
absent.
okay.
To be absent from the body, present with the Lord.
Ooh, Shando. This is good.
So juicy, very tender, flavorful. It's well seasoned all the way throughout the meat. It's really good, and it's only that way because we brined it. We didn't just season it, throw it in the pot. No, we took our time, and it paid off. Don't you think?
Amazing. Recommend it. I don't know what to tell y'all, really.
We're done. Cut the cameras. We're
Goodbye.
out of here.
Goodbye, y'all.
Subscribe. We love y'all. Thank you so much.